a man himself called Rutebemberwa Moses, who is a TV producer and I think a content creator, who is here. So today's topic is mainly about the future of storytelling and mastering graphics and video media as a daily tool we use in media. So I take this opportunity to invite our guest speaker to come and join us in this session. Sir, you're most welcome. You're welcome to EYIT TV. I'm Jasper. You can do a brief introduction and we get to know you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jasper. My name is Rutebemberwa Moses. I am happy to be here. I've been here before when this place was a bit smaller. And I would like to thank the EYIT team for building a community and for keeping this up. Yeah, I would like to thank you guys for coming to have a discussion with me. I would want this to be a very open discussion. Yeah, I don't like dictating things. In television, we collaborate, so I cannot be the only source of information. Probably what you know, I could also learn from you. Yeah, and then maybe you will learn from me as well. So I'm happy to be here, and I thank you very much for coming to listen from me.
Okay, you're welcome. So, first things first, we shall talk about your journey as a TV producer on the station you're working on and the expertise in storytelling and visuals. So, sir, you can discuss about how you came to be a producer and some little background, how you started, so that we can get inspired. Because some of us are in your shoes, we are getting to your shoes. So you can discuss.
Okay, thank you. I started this journey in 2009. Yes, 2009. That's the time when about the second batch of people that had gone to Iraq came back. A brother of mine came with a digital camera. That time, there were not very many. Yeah, that digital camera, I don't know if you saw it, the small digital cameras that had a protruding lens. So when you turn it on, the lens would come out. I don't know if you saw it. So it was pretty small. It was probably as big as this. Yeah, as big as this. And it was interesting, fascinating to see the quality of pictures it would give you. And it was recording content on an SD card. Yeah, that time, SD cards were a very new thing. You know what SD cards are? Yeah? Yeah? Anyone who doesn't know what an SD card is? Do you have one, Henry?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was recording on an SD card. Yeah? And you'd take so many photos. You'd take as many photos. The technology before that was the film technology. Yeah? Anyone of you saw film? You guys should have seen film. Did you see film? Yeah? Who doesn't know film? Film? You saw film? All of you know what film was? Negative. Yeah? So the technology before was that. Then when we transfer, this is an SD card. Yeah? So for the first time, we were taking digital pictures and putting them here, using that camera. So when he came with it, I went with it to school for like a weekend. Took a few photos and came to town here, printed them out. I was at Mbarara High School, so came back here, printed them out, and looked nice. Then it would also record video. It was not only a photo camera. Initially, you'd only have one of the two. Yeah, those two functions could never exist in the same camera. You either had a video camera or a still photo camera. Yeah. So at that point, the camera could give you, a single camera would give you both the video and the photos. So we started recording videos, and there was a gentleman who was a photographer at our school. He used to come photograph. He's called Ivan. So he told me that there was a guy in town here. You know what GT Bank is? GT Bank here, just up here, called Mark. And he said that Mark is a video editor. Wow, it was interesting to know that there was someone in town that actually understood video editing. It was a concept I knew in my mind because probably I knew you could edit something or work out something, but I didn't know that such people are within reach. Yeah, that they are not very far away from you. So I came. Ivan took me to Mark. Mark had a small computer. That time we were running. There was an editing software called Pinnacle Studio. Has anyone seen it? Pinnacle Studio. You can, if you have internet, just Google. You'll see the interface of Pinnacle Studio. So we're using Pinnacle Studio that time, and we were recording. Video cameras were still recording on tape. That time, the photos were not. The guys that were doing a lot of video were still using tape that time. So there were capture cards that would capture content off the tapes and make that content digital. I know it's not very many years ago, but when I'm talking about some of these things, they seem to be very old. So we had capture devices. Anyone heard of Firewire card? No, I don't think.
Me, I have ever heard about it. Actually, I know it, but I think in this generation of the Gen Zs, it is hard to know about it.
So a Firewire card would help you digitalize analog content, the tape. So you'd have a tape, you put a Firewire cable in the camera and put it in a computer. So the Firewire card in the computer would recognize the tape, and that's how you'd be able to copy off content and make it digital. To capture that content, turn it from the tape to what is digital for you to be able to edit.
Short, I'd like to request Henry to bring us a projector so that some of these things we are talking about, these guys can look at them and have a feel and know how these things used to look like, because it's an amazing story.
Yeah, so I've not seen computers lately that still have those Firewire cards, but he showed me how that technology worked, and he started teaching me how Pinnacle Studio works. So I learned how to edit with Pinnacle Studio. That was before the Premiere Pros that you guys use now, yeah? Then maybe a few months later, we started using Premiere Pro version 1, yeah? Currently, we are using CC20 what? 2013, 2023? No,
2024.
There's even a 2024.
Yeah, 2024 is already working.
Yeah. So we're using version 1 that time. And we were not... that was still the time of CDs. The CD. You guys know CDs. That at least they are part of your generation now. But they are dying out. They have literally died out. Do you still use them? CDs? Really?
In this generation?
Not the other CDs. I'm talking about the... Come on, guys. Yeah? I'm not talking about
the compact discs.
I'm talking about the compact discs, the round ones. I don't think you guys still use them. They have sort of... You still use them. They have sort of died out. You don't... I don't know, maybe. So, Premiere Pro version 1 would ban... You would edit after editing, and it would burn a CD. It would store data on a CD, and you'd pick a CD and give to a client. So that was in my senior 5. So all these things I used to do during holiday, like probably some of you could be. Then senior 6, towards the beginning of senior 6, that's when TV West started. That is 2009, around September, towards 2010. So by the time the TV started, I had the skill. Yeah? So TV started when I was going into senior 6. So I do senior 6, finish exams. The TV had operated for like 6 months, I believe so. And I woke up one morning, walked to TV West as a looking for a vac job. When I joined, I was actually looking for a vac job. I had no interest in keeping up, in really staying in the media industry. The guidance back then was not as good as it is now. You guys get some briefing about what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to become. So I walked into TV looking for a vac job because my friends were getting vac jobs in supermarkets, where. So I thought maybe because I have a skill that the TV can use, I am better placed. I have better chances of finding a job in TV. So I went to TV. I didn't know anyone there. I just walked in, said I want to talk to the manager. And they took me to the manager. I had a laptop. Told the manager, I'm a video editor. I know how to edit videos, and I am looking for a job. Just straight up, nothing. So he says, show me your work. Of course, my standard of work was very poor, yeah, compared to what the TV had or what the TV was doing. Mine was worse, yeah, but I had the idea of how they are doing it that needed to be polished. So I think what the manager saw was my ability to show up and present that kind of work at my age. I was 20, I think, 20. So he saw the work. He took me to another gentleman in the control room, said, this guy is a video editor. Can you look through his work? Guys looked through my work and said, yeah, he can keep coming in for small training. It wasn't a job, really. No, he just gave me a place for like apprenticeship, sort of. Like how Henry says, maybe when you have a random day, a free day, just walk in, see what we do. Maybe you can learn a thing or two. So that's how it all started. So I kept going into TV. That time, TV had only one video editor because it had just opened, and they also didn't have a lot of work or whatever they were doing. So I got in, started coming in every day, got a few tips, learned how TV operates, learned video editing, like mastered video editing, like mastering it now. Not the Pinnacle Studio that I was using. TV was already using Premiere Pro. So I moved on to Premiere Pro, and he taught me how Premiere Pro works and how to better the art of video editing. That time, I wasn't thinking about the graphics and the production end. No, I only knew video editing. So I come in, edit my videos, get out. And it's now been 15 years. 15 years. What you need is the skill. That is what you should concern yourselves with. Concern yourself with getting the skill. Once you have the skill, the opportunity will look for you. It will show up. You will see it lingering somewhere for you. But imagine if I didn't have the skill, if I had not tried to acquire the skill. Possibly I wouldn't have gone to TV, I would have gone into some other things. But I had a bit of that. So I've been in television since my senior 6 vacation. So for me, what was a vac job became a profession. So when I went, I just wanted a vac job. Maybe I can hang around, and when campus starts, I go to campus. Not that I didn't study after that. No, I kept working, going to campus, working, going to campus. I did a degree in IT at Bishop Stewart University. Finished it in 2014. Kept working. Recently, I went back to Bishop Stewart University, did another bachelor's degree in journalism and mass communication. I finished it last year. So I'm still trying to improve my abilities as a person. But I would like to interest you into the area of broadcast or content creation. That's what you call it now. The word content creation is really new. I don't know if you guys know. Do you think it's maybe 10 years old? The two words have always existed, content and creation, yeah? But using both words, coining the word content creation is recent. It's not very old. So I would want to interest you in the area of content creation. We call it content creation now because that's what it is. The broadcast days were in the maybe early days. Probably they are dying out. Yeah? This what we call mainstream media is dying out. We no longer have it. We don't think it's going to stay here for long. Yeah? Even us who are in television, we know the television you have now is going to burn out. Do you guys still listen to radio? Yeah? Do you? Come on, guys. Yeah? Sometimes, you see? So what is going to happen to your kids? Do you think they will listen to radio? They'll be more into the podcasts and all these other things. So certain trends in the media landscape are changing. Yeah? Certain things are changing, and we don't think certain things are going to hold for long. Content creation is like the new thing, but the media of spreading content is changing. Yeah, the content creation and the production business is not going away. What is going away is when you produce, how do you deliver the content? Yeah? Initially, it would be TV. So you'd either be on TV or nowhere else. Do you know that now it is very easy for you to trend better on your social media than when you appear on TV? Come on, guys, this you know for a fact. Yeah? So eventually that medium is going to, it may not go away necessarily, but it's going to get less impactful. Did you follow the American Trump elections? Did you? Yeah? Trump refused to use mainstream media for any of his interviews. He only sat with bloggers, those podcasters, and people in the content creation, not in the mainstream. He never gave an interview to the CNN. This CNN, BBC, what? No. He was on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube with podcasters and those people. And he was able to manage a campaign just using those platforms. What does that tell you? That is where the world is. That's where the world is going. And you guys are lucky that you are entering into that space with that knowledge that the world is moving towards. Us, when we joined, we did not anticipate a time when that shift would happen. We only knew, yeah, TV is still here. TV, it's not going anywhere. I'm not saying it is going away tomorrow, yeah? But I'm saying its ability to impact audiences is sort of dropping. And all these other new media seems to be picking up, or is picking up. Yeah, so you should now gravitate towards creating content for new media. The style of creating content doesn't change. There's no difference between a documentary, how you produce a documentary that airs on TV and how you produce a documentary that runs on YouTube. It's the same, right? So you should just concern yourself with how do I master the YouTube area. But the style of producing content still remains the same. Yeah? So you should concern yourself with that. It is good to have a plan. Yeah? As when we joined, we were learning television. That's what was the thing. Yeah? I think that time Facebook had not, it had opened, but I think it was still in the US. 2010. When did Facebook open? 2008. I think you guys should know these things better than me. Yeah? 2008, I think, yeah. So when we joined TV in 2010, Facebook was not here. So Facebook found when we were already there. I think I've been on it since it came. I've only recently stopped using it, reduced my activity on Facebook. I don't know, maybe because of government and all those other things that happened. But just gravitate or think about production in terms of how you can make your content better, how you can produce better content. So I've been at this for a long time. There's literally no area of television that I don't know about or that I have not worked in. Yeah? So whatever question or whatever things you've always had on your mind and you need answers for, I'm your guy and I'm here. There's no area of television that I am not aware of or that I have not worked in or worked in for quite some time, by the way. If it's control room, I've been in for even now. If it's production, currently I manage production, the production unit up there. So I also know a lot on that space. The news departments and the newsroom, I've been in that space. I also understand things in that area. Now that I have a degree in journalism, I also understand the nitty-gritties of journalism practice, the ethical issues involved, the legal concerns involved, and how to come up with a good story. That's the most important part. Yeah? So I want you guys to feel free and ask any question anywhere, in any field. So don't look at me as a guy just in production. No. In any field of media. At least I have been in that space. I also worked with a magazine. Second job, it wasn't a second job per se, it was like a side gig. So I also understand what happens in the print industry. Yeah? InDesign. Have you guys studied InDesign? Do you know InDesign? InDesign. Anyone? You know it? Come on. All of you? Anyone? InDesign is a software that is used to design newspapers or print material. Yeah, so it's what lays those pages for the newspapers, for the magazines, and it's also interesting. It's like Photoshop or Illustrator, but designed majorly for print media. Yeah, for you to be able to type and make a sheet of paper. So that's InDesign. You can try and interest yourself in it. The good thing with the softwares in the Adobe suite is that they look the same. Yeah? So if you've interacted with maybe Photoshop or Illustrator, it is very easy for you to interact with InDesign. Yeah? There's familiar space. Some things are a bit different, but it's easy for you to learn the other after you've learned how to use one. You've learned Illustrator, I'm told, right? Yeah. So it's easy for you to transfer knowledge from Illustrator to InDesign or all these other areas. Yeah.
So thank you so much for that interesting background. Yeah. So The next question is,
is,
in
in
your
your
experience
experience
as
as
a
a
TV
TV
producer
producer
and a
and a
visual
visual
creator,
creator,
how
how
has
has
graphics
graphics
and videos helped you to elevate or portray a message in media? So we would like to hear from you how these things have changed, because in the past years, people used to focus on print media like the newspapers. So we have evolved to summarizing things on a simple flyer and portrays 90% of the message. You can get a page of a newspaper, you summarize it on one flyer. You can get the whole stories in a newspaper, and then you read them through news, and people can see them in videos. So how has it helped to portray a message in media? Thank you.
Thank you. Um, let's first look at the background of graphics. Yeah, I think that would be interesting. So initially, it was very hard to superimpose graphics probably in video content. Yeah? But do we know what graphics are anyway? Yeah? Do we? Are we aware? So the two types, you know, the two types of graphics? Hey, come on, guys. Two? Any trial? Yeah? Good. Perfect. Another? Yeah, still. It doesn't have to be hard. Yeah? So the still are the posters. Hey, this is the Firewire card. Yeah? The PCI Firewire card I was telling you guys about. So we used to use it to convert convert analog tapes to digital video. Yeah? So the two types, there's still, there's motion. Why do we use motion? Anyone? Motion? Why do we use motion? Yeah? Motion? Good. Motion? Good. Motion? Anyone? And still, posters, flyers, papers, all those things, still. So the motion is what is moving. Graphics that has movement in it, that is not static. So the still is in the print and the designs. So softwares that do the two are different. Yeah? Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and all those others do still graphics. Yeah? Do we know some softwares that do motion graphics? Which one? Blender? Yes. Another? After Effects? Yeah. Okay. Another? Premiere Pro? Yes. Another? Pardon? I didn't. Yeah. Yeah. Filmora does. Okay. Are we out? So we have softwares like Cinema 4D, Maya. You know those? So those are the ones that do motion graphics. Now, initially at the beginning of the graphics age, it was very hard to superimpose graphics in video. You know what that means? Like being in position to write something in a video was really hard. So what they would do is that they would print something out on a wall and film it. Yeah, because there was no digital mechanism of being able to superimpose a written thing over a video. Currently, it is easy. With Premiere Pro, all you need to do is make a video layer, add it on top of a make a graphics layer, add it on top of a video layer, and you're good. Yeah? So what do they help us do? It is very easy for you to communicate more information in graphics than it is for, let's say, if we ask you to speak. Yeah? In television, the human brain processes what they see in 3 seconds. Yeah? So if something comes on TV, let's say you make a shot. Yeah? A shot. A shot should last 1, 2, 3. And it changes. It's enough for you to have processed what is happening. Do you know what a shot is? Yes? A shot. Like, for example, if I change this camera, yeah, and it looks at this guy, it takes 3 seconds for you to have known, oh, this is Juliet from Gakova. So even if it changes after that time, your brain has already registered that information. So a single, do you watch movies? When you watch a movie, I want you to count. If in a movie, 2 people are having a conversation, yeah, a shot that will come, the close-up of this guy, maybe from here, count to 3, it will change. Try and be a little keen when you're watching these movies, yeah. For example, a shot will begin with a wide shot of this guy and this guy in a distance, but in 30 seconds they will change to me, then they will change to him, then they will change back to the wide. Yeah, those are shots. Yeah. So we were looking at the importance of graphics in video. So when you write something in graphics and put it, open YouTube, let's get something to use. Yeah. For example, this is your TV, and you write down here, 10 people killed in Kawarore. Yeah? Even if I just pass on the TV and I don't have time to listen to the story I have picked, I have understood the story, right? I can go and tell someone, you know what happened in Kawarere today? 10 people were killed. Even when I don't have all the rest of the detail. Yeah? So it makes delivering of information a bit easier and faster. It also makes the screen look appealing. Yeah? So imagine if TV had only, you see, for example, look at this. Yeah? So imagine they just put, I wanted you to stay on the thumbnail. Thumbnail, where we were. Is it still going to go up? Yeah, it has now gone. This is it, yeah? So imagine they just put this guy and the motorcade, and they don't write this. Yeah? You would probably look at it and not know what is happening. Yeah? Whether it is, okay, is it about his motorcade, or when I play, it is going to show me where he's swearing in. But even when it says motorcade heads to the White House, you know that the content in this is about the motorcade heading to the White House. So it's a bit directional. Graphics make videos look smarter, look nicer, look interpretable. They help you show names of people. They help you show their titles, what they do. Yeah. So, and on the graphics end, do you know infographics? Have you, anyone? Am I introducing a lot of new terms? No. Yeah. Yeah, as it comes. Images. You've not seen something like this? This? Or this? Or this? So infographics is graphics that contain some information that you're supposed to pick out of. Yeah? The pie charts, all those things. That's infographics. So it helps you interpret information in a much faster way. The graphs, pie charts, and all these things help you. They are also graphics. Yeah? So they help you interpret information way faster. So for example, if you design, you're editing a video, you produce a video, and you're talking about, let's say, Mbarara. Yeah? Mbarara city in Western Uganda with a population of about 200 people. I'm just setting an example. Yeah? It is better for you to make it visually appealing that where you mention Mbarara city is a city in Western Uganda with a population of about 2,000 people. Yeah, it is important that you visually represent the 2,000 people. Yeah, you write, yeah, so that someone sees it. You write it on the screen. Otherwise, if you just pass footage with a population of about 2,000 people, and it is just that, it is not appealing. It is more appealing if you put a graphic element that either counts down to 2,000 people. Yeah? It makes the video more entertaining than if you just say, Mbarara is a city in Western Uganda with a population of 2,000 people, and then you proceed. So videos become more entertaining because the graphics help you to illustrate what you'd want illustrated faster. Yeah? So that is by far how important graphics are. Yeah? One, they make the screen smarter. They help you interpret information faster if you are doing this, infographics. And they are good in creating appealing material. Yeah? We've had changes in... did any one of you watch Avatar? Yeah? Avatar the movie. You watched the first one or this new one? The first one, yeah? You know how that first one was created? You don't? So they had to first design a software called Maya. The graphic software we use now called Maya that does, you know about it? Maya, you just. You can just add maybe fix something. Yeah. Yeah, so this is it. Yeah. It's used in modeling. Yeah. So they developed Maya first, the software, and then they were able to make Avatar. Yeah. Why? Because they had to superimpose characters within. How movies are made is that there's always the human element. Yeah. Okay, let's not go very far. You know chroma keys? Have you heard about that word? Chroma key? Chroma key? Have you seen behind the scenes of any movie? Yeah, there's always like a green thing behind. A green or blue. Yeah? You have? So there are two chroma technologies, two of them. Yeah? One is green screen and the other is blue screen. So there are two. So the green screen and blue screen are used because in the human element, yeah, there's no any of those two colors. We don't have a human being that tends to look green or tends to look blue. Yeah? Hulk is just a character created, just a fictional character. But for example, if I stand here and there's a green screen behind me, in Premiere Pro, you can remove the green screen and replace it with High Street Mbarara, and you'd see me as if I am standing on High Street. Yeah? You've seen that, haven't you? In television, largely, you see people seated, like, let's say, Sky Sport. Yeah? When you guys are watching soccer, the guys are seated in a very beautiful environment. You think that environment is physically there or virtually there? Yeah? It's virtual. So there are those that are physical. I don't want you to cram it. Yeah? When a station is rich, it can create a physical set. Yeah? But there are those sets that are virtual. Yeah? So the virtual sets are graphical. They are designed the way you design things in either Blender or Photoshop or Illustrator, anywhere. Yeah? There can be a difference depending on the technology each TV station uses, but the magic is, yeah, like for example, this set. Yeah? So if you sat somewhere like there, show me this, just scroll. This is for the BBC. Yeah? I can make you sit here. And then when someone is watching at home, this is what they see. But when they come, this is not what they will find. So the rest of this is actually graphics. Yeah? So if we did not have a graphical technology that does this, our world of broadcast would remain boring, especially for stations that don't afford a budget to make a huge set. Yeah? There are stations that have budgets and are able to build these things physical. Yeah? And they're there and they're physical and you can go touch them, see them. But there are those that don't have the budget to do this and they utilize graphics to make these things. Yeah? And TV is appealing from home, but what you watch home may not necessarily be what is at the station. Yeah? Has any one of you come to our station up there? How many have come? How many? By show of hands? Anyone? Have you been to our studio? Yes? Uh-huh. The things you see home, are they the things you saw? You see? So we have two studios. We have a chroma key studio and a physical studio. They are two, they are different. So the lower one is the chroma key studio. So when you enter, there's only a green screen, something green, and that's it. So you could think in your head that when people are probably reading news, they're in that environment. No, it is. Yeah? Then we have another set. We have other sets that are physical, that are, there. The sets we use like for shows like Chamuka and those other entertainment shows, those sets are actually there. They're physical. Yeah? So graphics is helping improve the technology into this direction. So as a producer of content, where you feel that you want to create appealing content, but you're not able to afford the budget to do it, then it becomes easy for you to graphically do something and manipulate it to fit what you would want your audience to see. Yeah? What is important is the audience will never know that, for example, if I didn't tell you today, how would you have known? Yeah? The audience, the person who is watching will never know that probably you don't have such an establishment in your small single room. Yeah? But you can sit in your small single room, put a chair like that. The trick is that the hands have to be on the table. Yeah? Like the way he's seated. So as long as the hands are on the table, I can even remove the table and replace it with another table. Yeah?
So I have a simple question. So a gacha entry on TV, they normally read it in the chroma key studio?
We have two studios.
Yes.
There's when they use it in the chroma key studio, and then there's when they read it in a live studio.
Yeah, but most of the times when
It's
we
on the
see,
chroma key studio.
okay,
Chroma key
so
studio,
I
that's what it
think
is.
that's the best example which can explain what a virtual studio to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for chroma key, you can literally replace anything. Yeah? As long as the character does not, for example, if he's seated here, all I need is put your hands there like that. Yeah? I will give you a table that is green. Yeah? Fully green. And then also put a green screen behind you. Yeah? So once you do that, I can replace this table graphically with another table. The audience will not know. The softwares we use help us do that because they are designed to do specifically that. Yeah? So there are technologies within that space that help us, that make it easy for us to, yeah, for us to do that. There's a TriCaster software we use. TriCaster, you can just Google it. You could look at it. It helps you. You input cameras, and then you can decide what you want to do with each camera. Yeah. Do you want to do a chroma key on this camera? Do you want to take it live the way it is? Do you want to add anything in the camera? So it can make you do almost anything. Yeah. Do you want to add graphics? Haven't you seen people reading news and there's like a virtual screen here that appears and gives information that the person is talking about? So that information, the screen, for some, the screen is physically there. The NBS set they use for news, the screens are actually there in the wall. Yeah, they are physically there. They are touch screens, so they
can scroll and do.
They can scroll through them. The others are not. For some stations, those things are not actually there. It's green. CNN usually does a lot of that. Most of the CNN screens are not physically there. They are virtually imposed. So what you need to know is the proportionality of the person and the screen. So timing, and then they also have sensors, yeah, that will know. Your phones use gestures, right? Don't you have phones that use gestures? Yeah, a phone that you do this and it opens off a gesture, even when you've not touched it. So they have sensors that read gestures and can superimpose like a pointer gesture on a specific word. So if you're supposed to do this, yeah, it will pick this gesture and superimpose what is supposed to go there. It is just technology. There's no.
The best example, it is people watch football the way they normally show, like after the first half, how the super sport guys normally show you how you could have scored. So they normally use gestures in front of those screens.
Yeah, they do. They do use those gestures, especially for the super sport people. They also do that. Yeah, they do. Circle out a guy and move the guy and say, okay, if this guy was here, he should have moved here, and they're able to move the guy. But that's not chroma key. They actually have softwares that are designed to do that. So it has nothing to do with chroma key. But what I was trying to explain is that graphics help us achieve some of those things. This is a TriCaster software. It's a TriCaster, you see, green screen, and you can use it to superimpose this green screen with anything else. You don't have to overconcern yourself with these things. This is very expensive software, but I'm just giving you an idea that don't get stuck in your journey of creating content. There's a lot of things that you can read about, and you're able to present information differently. Yeah? I also wanted to talk to you about production. Yeah? That's where you're majorly interested in. Now, the 3 stages of production, you guys know? Yeah? 3 stages? Yeah? Post? Yeah? Good. Yeah? Pre? Good. Distribution, yes. And production. You can't have a pre-production and a production, and then when does the production actually happen? That has to be a stage. So there are majorly three. So there's a pre-production, there's production, and post-production. What do we do in pre-production? Yeah? Plan what you're going to produce, what is involved in the planning now, that's what is. Set up tools, yes, you're right. Yeah? So under that we have, for example, you can rec. You know what wrecking is? Wrecking is, if I'm going to film in Nyamitanga, yeah, I first go there today and see. In Nyamitanga, if I'm looking for an elderly woman of 80 who is doing farming, is she actually there? Yeah? For example, if she says, I have 100 goats, are they actually there? Yeah? Because you may reach waste time and the guy has like 20 goats. Yeah? So wrecking should inform your decision on content. So you do that. It doesn't mean that you have to physically go there. If it's near, you can. If it isn't, you can inquire. Call some people. Yeah? Get a number of a chairman, you'll see one of Nyamitanga, call him, say, Chairman, hey, I'm this guy, I'm doing a documentary in your area about this, and I would want to know if Mrs. Jane has 100 goats. The chairman will give you the information that you need. He will say, yeah, she has about 80 to 100. Then you know that she has quite a number. But then there are those you ask and someone says, Kanoshangu akazukuza, seems she sold some. She has like 20. Then you know she has 10. Yeah? So in production, pre-production, we rec and find out if the source of information is actually, yeah, on point. Otherwise, you'll drive fuel, go to Fort Portal, reach there, and the guy says, yesterday I got a problem, I sold the cows. Then why did you go there? So that's what we do. Yeah, we rec, we script. What scripting is? Scripting, someone should help really. These are common terms. If you're a content creator, these are common terms you should know. Yeah? Who is willing to help? Scripting? Yes? Anyone? Yeah? Okay. So scripting is putting down your workflow. Everything has to be written. You see, that's the funny thing with television and content creation. I see a lot of people create content not interested in writing, especially now. All you care about is hold your camera, point it at some guy, and the guy starts speaking. That's how they get into legal issues. When you script, you know, okay, my program or the documentary I'm going to produce is going to take, maybe, it's a 30-minute documentary. Yeah? What do I want? What is the flow? What's the flow going to be like? Okay? For example, if I'm talking about, give me a topic, anyone. Just throw a topic at me, then we create content out of it. Shoes, okay. For example, shoes. May I, please, borrow your shoes? Oh, you can come, just come. So, her shoes, beautiful shoes. If you are supposed to talk about them if you're making a documentary about shoes, because you can, right? About shoes, what things would you talk about? What elements would we cover talking about shoes? Yeah? Pardon? Let's pick up. The shoe? The shoe brand? Yes. Okay. The price? Yes. The color? Good. The size of the shoes? Perfect.
We have material.
The material of the shoe? Yeah. Is it leather? Is it not leather? Is it okay? Who consumes? Who is, yeah, yeah. Are these for ladies? Are these for men? Yes, that's possible. Okay. The design of the shoe? Yes. But we also can try and structure this information. Yeah? So that we start by talking about shoes. Yeah? Shoes. How did the idea of shoes come about? Before we talk about this specific shoe, you need to give a background for anything. That's why when Museveni is talking, he first tells you the Bachwezi came, the Bachwezi did this, and then he comes until now. He's trying to give you some information on what it used to be, what it is, and so you can find background on shoes. For example, how did these shoes, who came up with the idea of shoes? Who was the first guy to probably invent shoes? Talk about that guy, talk about how that process happened, and talk about how shoes have changed over time. Yeah? So we had the leather shoes. Then at some point in Uganda, we had the plastic shoes. Katota. Do you know them? Plastic shoes. Not the ones we have now. There were plastic shoes that were actually plastic. Did you see them? Have you heard about them? Eh? Wooden shoes. Yes. We had, actually wooden shoes were before, because wooden shoes were even before colonialists, I think. Yeah? Then we had the leather that came with the Arabs and all these other guys. Then we had the plastic shoes. Then we had this synthetic material that is either not plastic or something. Then we had the cotton ones. You know, these shoes were there before they came back. This kind of shoe. Yeah? The All-Stars. The All-Stars were there in the 80s, right? Are you aware? Or you think that you are the first guys to put them on? They came back. They just came back some years back. When they came back, I was seeing them like this. But they used to be there. Like when I was growing up, they were for very old people. Like in the around 97, 96. They were there. But they were for old people. You'd only find old people of about to maybe 60, 70 with this kind of shoe. Then it came back, had swag, and then all of us, the young, were putting them on. So you can look at the background of shoes, how shoes have changed over time. In your content, I'm just giving you how to structure content. Yeah? Background, what are shoes? How did they come about? Who invented shoes? How have shoes in Uganda changed over time? Yeah? Then you look at the current trends. Right now. Current trends of shoes. Which shoes are making sense now? Pardon? Yeah, let's be audible. Bagagaware is doing a lot of sense these days. That's what this plastic, the Crocs. Yeah? Crocs. Ladies, what type of shoes do you guys have now that is trending? Pardon? Yeah?
I see these days ladies like putting on boots. I don't know if they are
Boots?
coming to our trend.
I don't know. I'm just asking the ladies. I don't.
But they are not responding.
Yeah. So if you're looking at shoes, that's how you structure content when you're scripting content. You look at how it came about, the idea of shoes, who invented shoes, how have they changed over time, what are they now, the current, yeah? Then that's how you start talking about, now you specialize, yeah? If you say, all these are good, but these, now you focus on these. Yeah? Ugandans tend to like, what color is this? They say men are colorblind. Peach? This is peach, right? I don't know if it's peach or purple. Yeah. At that point, that's when you start talking about specific shoes. But for Ugandan ladies, they tend to like peach, open, stripped, brown shoes with a small, what do they call it? Sole. Yeah. It leaves their nails visible. It looks smart, and you can put it on different attires. It's good for leisure. You can have it for. You get in your script when you're scripting. But if you don't do all those things, it means there's a chance that what you were supposed to start with, you are talking about it in the end. Yeah? So, for example, if someone started by telling you about this shoe, which is very new, trendy, and people like it, and then after they have told you that, they start telling you Katota Muro and all these other shoe brands that were there before. Would you like that content? It is sort of upside down. So the story is not being told from in a flow in which it is supposed to be told. Yeah? It is a bit off. So when you're scripting, you look at that. You also consider other things during scripting. You look at time. You look at the duration. You look at the audience that you're targeting. If I'm writing for very old people, if I'm scripting something for maybe people of the age of 50 and above, there are words I may not use because these words didn't exist, they don't use them. But if I'm writing a script for a youth program, there are words I should be okay to use. Yeah? So during scripting, you consider the audience, then you also, but the most important part is the flow of information. Yeah? Usually why we script is not to deviate from the script. We script so that we receive guidance. We are guided on knowing, after this, what do I talk about? After this, what do I talk about? After this, what do I talk about? And that's why we usually disagree with the day-to-day content creators. As mainstream media people, we are still doing scripts every day. Like, for example, if someone is supposed to go to the field, the producer of a program makes a script together with the presenter. Yeah? Then they bring the script for approval. We look through, we approve. So if a script is not approved, one, you can't get a car, you can't get a vehicle to go to the field, and there's no reason you should be going to the field either. Yeah? So as a content creator, learn to write. Learn to script. Learn to write down just things that you'd want done. All those things are done in we're still in pre-production. Hey, madam, thank you, please. So, still in pre-production, right? What other thing have we left out? Equipment. So you would know, I'm going to Ushenyi, I'm going to film a woman. It means that this woman is going to give me a bite, so she's going to talk to me. Yeah? What do I need? I need a microphone. How many microphones do I need? I need the microphone for a presenter, and I need a microphone for the person being interviewed. So I need 2 microphones. Yeah? I need cameras. So how many cameras do I need? So if you have 2 people on set, how many cameras should you have? Yes? 3. Perfect. Yeah? If you have 2 people on set, you need 3 cameras. Why? Yeah, please.
I think one should be facing the audience, one facing.
No, we don't have an audience.
Like.
There are 3 people. There are 2 people. Like the way we are here, me and this guy.
Okay. One should focus on just.
The one facing him, where should it be?
Facing him.
Yes.
Here.
It should be here.
Then
okay.
You here.
Yes.
Then one here. facing the two of you.
And the one here, what is it giving us?
Focusing on two of you,
Yes.
I guess.
So the one here is giving us a wide shot that has me and this guy. Yeah? The one here is giving us a close-up shot of this guy. Right? Then the one there is giving us a close-up shot of this guy. Yeah? So you need to know all these things. Otherwise, you reach in the field and you thought you were going to use one camera and you'll waste a lot of time trying to figure out, or you probably only do a wide shot. So we're trying to look at preparing so that you come with the best content. You come back with the best content. It is not a must. Okay, you can have, the cardinal rule is you should have 3. Yeah? But you see, we also have resource constraints. Yeah? In scenarios where you only have 1. Because that's also a scenario you need to plan for. In a scenario where you only have 1 camera, how are you able to produce content so that the person watching does not get to know that actually he had 1 camera? How does that happen? Have you seen someone do that? Because I'm not teaching you to operate in, I'm not telling you to operate in scenarios where you have everything. I'm taking you through how to operate in limited resource constrained environments. Yeah? You can film with your phone. One phone. You don't even need 3, 1. But the trick is, if we sit, the trick number 1 is you have scripted your things. You know who is supposed to speak when. Yeah? So the presenter starts. You film the presenter. Welcome to today's segment of Let's Talk. Today we're talking about shoes. Yeah, you are filming. Our guest for the day is Mr. John. John has been repairing shoes in this town for the last 30 years. Yeah? So the important part is you introduce John. I have seen interviews where someone says, we have a guest today and let the guest introduce himself. Now that is wrong. You get? You who is hosting should introduce the guest. Yes, you should give a background of the person watching, who this guy is. Yeah? Jane is a minister for education and sports, and she has been a minister in the last 3 cabinets. She holds a PhD in education management, a PhD in, you prepare the mind of the person watching you to receive. Yeah? Then you only ask Jane, the minister, to greet the audience. Yeah? Jane can choose to repeat her name, or she can proceed from there because she's already introduced. It's a common mistake. It happens, but I'm just telling you so that every time you guys are probably generating content, you know. The host should introduce the guest. Not the things of saying, I have a gentleman here, let him introduce himself. No. You call the gentleman, it's your station, it's your show, introduce the guy. Yeah? Yeah. So you would know, you have your phone. You know this guy is speaking first, the presenter is speaking first, he's introducing the show. Film the presenter only. Yeah? Then, mark where the presenter says, let's hear from Mr. John. Yeah? Or when he says, Mr. John, please greet our audience. Then you cut. Then you film John greeting the audience. Yeah? Then you cut. So if you are in a resource constrained environment, you can do that. And the person watching, when you're done editing, will not tell that you actually had just one gadget. Because you film this guy, 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 you film this guy. Yeah? And then you have a wide. There's when you film them in a wide shot, and then you go back to the close-up, and then you film, you film, you film. Then, have you ever heard of noddies? Noddies, not noodles, no. Nodis. Nodis is when two people are speaking, the other person has to be responding. Yeah? Like, if I'm talking to this guy, he's probably saying, okay, okay, yeah? You record those nodis at the end of the show. Yeah? You make this guy nod, like, and you record him as he nods. So during editing, in that recording you had where the presenter was asking a question. So doctor, tell us about the signs and symptoms of cough or flu. Yeah? So when the presenter is asking the question, the audience needs to see that the doctor was paying attention to the question. In the editing, you add it. Yeah? So you can have, so doctor, tell us, the audio remains flowing. What changes is the picture that you're showing. I don't know if we are following each other. If I've left you, please help me go back, and then I'm just trying to teach you how to work with a single gadget. We talked about how to work with 3 cameras. Now imagine you had one phone, but you still want to generate content that looks appealing. How do you do it? You still want to come up with a good video so that the audience doesn't know that you are using a single gadget. So once you've recorded those nodis, someone nodding, so when the presenter is asking questions as you edit, you just superimpose yeah? So if he's saying, doctor, you're welcome, thank you very much for coming, and now he's asking a question, yeah? So doctor, tell us the symptoms of flu or the symptoms of COVID-19 and how it has, as the question is being asked, you put the nodis, yeah? So the person will think that is the second camera, yet it's a single camera. So those tricks are used in production to help you be able to come up with content in resource-constrained spaces. We can talk a lot about some of those tricks. There are quite many. Someone will film with a single camera and you'll never know. If they are good and they are deliberate and they know why they are doing what they are doing. Yeah? So, we're still looking at pre-production. Yeah? Then we looked at the scripting. We looked at that. And now we're looking at equipment. There's a lot to do. There's a lot there. Production, then you edit. In the editing, that's when you're superimposing and you're adding up all these things in the production. Yeah? You're editing, you're color grading. You're changing the color, you're adding graphics, titles, names, making sure that the story flows. You follow the script. The script that you made. Otherwise, you'll have someone, you can record several clips, and then before you know it, the guy is talking about the new shoe when you're actually supposed to be talking about the introduction. So the flow of content in storytelling is really important. Yeah? The story has to start from how it existed up to now. So that's what happens in production that you know. Yeah? So in production, you're producing, you're filming, you're already on the scene now doing all these things. Post-production, you're doing the editing, the color grading, the distribution. Some people consider distribution to be outside post-production. They consider it as a separate phase in the production phase. Some scholars have said it is part of post-production. So distribution of content and broadcast and distribution, yeah? So broadcast and distribution, that's where we talk about either you are uploading content and making sure that your audience gets to know about it, or if it's a live event, your audience is already aware about the live event and they are watching it being transmitted. So that's why you consider things like internet resource, the bandwidth, how fast your internet is. Otherwise, if you're streaming and your internet is not good, your stream will be unwatchable with buffers, and they're annoying. The buffer is that thing that keeps loading when you're watching a live event. Yeah? So you're looking at some of those things. Recently, we have technologies that help in the live stream space, or in the live broadcast space. Most of the technologies being used now, or coming out now, tend to focus more on content creation, on a single content creator. They are no longer focused on a production area that is, for example, a TV large production area. No. All these new things coming up are focusing on what a single individual can do. What a single individual can do. So there's equipment that now helps do live broadcasts. You've seen. Henry has some of it there. I don't know if you've been able to interact with it. So that is part of distribution. It is also important at the beginning of the project, you need to know which audience and which mode of distribution you intend to use. Yeah? Because it is very important for you to mark that. You need to know, okay, this content that I'm developing, am I developing for television? Do I have plans of streaming it? Or do I want to do both? Yeah? Okay, if I am streaming it, how heavy should it be? Because if you intend, currently we are not able to do, technically we are not able to live stream a 4K feed. Yeah, we are not. Henry, are you able to? You're not. Yeah. The technology has not allowed for you to live stream a feed that is in, you know what 4K is? Yeah? Anyone? Anyone? You know? He says he knows. He can help us. So you need to have it in mind. If you're producing content, you need to know how you intend to distribute the content. Otherwise, you will produce content and your distribution mechanism does not.
Okay. Or like 4K, also maybe like if you are streaming a video, it should be like very high quality.
Yes.
That's what like 4K is doing.
Okay, thank you. So currently the quality of content has changed over time. Yeah? Let me just take you through that. Probably you get a background of what it is. We used to have SD, that you know. Yeah? SD is, can you get them for us? Get us codecs. Just get us. Video standards, okay. Yes, that's what video standards. So we have SD, which is the lowest quality video. Then we have, yeah? We have, the other one is which one? We have SD, we have HD, we have Ultra HD, and 4K. Yeah? So they are different. You play a YouTube video. Let me just show you the difference. Yeah, play that.
I think these days people upload songs in different.
Yeah, probably these ones have. Come here.
Settings, then
Quality.
yeah.
So these are the different options that you have. 360. I think this is 110, 720, 1080,
1440,
1440, and
2160.
2160, which is the 4K. Yeah. So currently, you can upload content that is 4K, yes, but you cannot live stream a 4K feed over a network. Like for example, if it's a live event and you're pushing it and people have to watch it as it happens, the technology that we have now doesn't allow for this to come through. Yeah. The best you can have is Ultra HD. Yeah. So if you're generating content, you need to know what media you intend to distribute your content on. Yeah? Then you also need to know how the legal ramifications of content. Yeah? How legally acceptable it is for you to film certain things, to do certain things. Yeah? Are you aware that we are not allowed to interview minors unless they have an older person? Do you know who a minor is? A minor. Minor. Someone below the age of 18 is a minor. Yeah? So if I'm going to talk to a kid, the parent has to be around. Yeah? If it is night content, let's say you are filming a concert. Yes? First of all, kids are not supposed to go to concerts. Babies are not supposed to be in night concerts. They are not. But there's a chini hero in Kacheka, and at midnight there's a kid of 10. No. So if the kid of 10 is at the concert and I'm a content creator, and I'm creating content about that event, I am not supposed to film a minor or interview a minor in such a space. Yeah? And anyone, any person that you interview should sign a consent form. You know what a consent form is? Consent? Okay, do you know what consent is? Yeah? The normal English word consent means permission. Eh? My name is Moses and I have permitted you to use my content or to use my view or to use. Those are some legal issues that come with generation of content. A lot of us are disregarding those issues, but we'll end up in prison. That's now the funny part. Either in prison or you'll pay huge sums of money. Yeah? So in the content production phase, the consent and permission part is in pre-production. Yeah? So pre-production is when, like for example with us in TV, we have a legal department that has a lawyer and like about 3 lawyers. Yeah? So if we have content that we intend to pick and we feel it has a bit of conflict, yeah? So we talk to those people, they sign consent forms. I am John, I'm of sound mind, I have allowed TVS to interview me to talk about this. The views expressed in this by me are my views. I stand by them, I was not paid or coerced. Yeah, someone signs, then you go and film. Do you know the challenge of filming someone who did not allow you to film them? Or who allowed you to film them, but you did not get them signing somewhere that they allowed? All he needs to do is let you run the content on TV. Then he comes and he says, you used my face to talk about this, and I was not compensated. Or to promote this, and I wasn't compensated. Or you misinterpreted my opinion. Let's say you ask someone to talk about the government. Hey, what do you think about the Katete Bridge? And the guy yaps, you run. That person, legally, can come back and bite you. But you see, the current trends of content generation are more into citizen journalism. Yeah? Every person can record, film, and distribute content. But one will do it and the other will sue them. Yeah? So as you generate content, also have that in mind. Yeah? There are people that are smart. He comes, he says, hey, I can talk about this. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. He talks about it, you distribute it, put it on your channel, and from your channel. He comes and says, this guy is using my content to earn money. He didn't pay me, he has not compensated me, and I should benefit because this content is about me. Usually for scenarios where people are talking about themselves, yeah? Those are the ones that usually come back to bite. The ones in the news who give you like an opinion in a news story or a bite in the news story, those don't usually, come back. But scenarios where you are interviewing someone and he's telling you about themselves. Scenarios also where someone talks about, he's talking about probably a disease they have. Yeah? So if you're going to interview like maybe a patient who has a disease and is going to talk about his disease, make sure that that patient signs a consent form, allowing and stating that he was not coerced, he was of sound mind, and he allowed you to use that content. If you do not, all the guy needs is a smart lawyer. Just come and say, okay, so these guys should pay me. So it's very important that as you're entering into this content creation area, you understand some of those, nitty-gritties. Don't make those mistakes. Yeah? And that can only be done if you follow that's why that production process is actually there. Yeah? If you don't follow it, if you don't script your content, during scripting you can understand that the person you intend to, talk to about shoes, for example, you can find someone works in a shoes company, they manufacture shoes, but he understands shoes, but is not the one supposed to speak about shoes. Yes? For example, you can go to Mbarara University and you find a guy, he has worked in the university for like 13 years. Yes? You would assume that that's the guy supposed to talk about the university. Because he has been working here, so he's good, he knows what's happening. You just give him, the man speaks his opinion. You run, push it on TV. And yet that opinion is not the position of Mbarara University. So who do you go to when you want to know the position of Mbarara University about something? Yeah? You know who to go to? Who? No. Who? The PRO, the Public Relations Officer. Is if for any company, yeah? Don't go to employees. Don't go to the manager. Go to the Public Relations Officer. He's the one who speaks to the media and understands the position of that organization or an institution in regards to whatever it is you want to say or you want him to talk about. Yeah? But if you just run to a lecturer maybe and he gives you his concerns and you just walk away and then publish the concerns of the lecturer without getting the opinion of the PRO, your story is not balanced. First of all, you're looking at the story from one side. Yeah? So, all those you cater for in the most important part, by the way, of production are the first two. Yeah? The pre and the production. Pre is when you identify who do I talk to, how important are they, what are they supposed to tell me, then how do I also balance my story. During pre-production, how do I balance what I'm trying to talk about? Don't start giving us one-sided stories. Just because you met someone who is disgruntled about the mayor and he has talked to you about all his issues and how he hates the mayor, how the mayor is eating money, you just get and publish. Or you get and broadcast or put on your channel. No, the mayor can come and sue you for defamation. Yeah? So if someone talks to you about the mayor, also look for the mayor to defend himself. If you don't look for the mayor, I don't want to go deep into those other legal and, I'm just giving you a small crash course on things you're supposed to know as you create content. Yeah? Don't be, at least for you guys, you're lucky you've come here to the hub. So you shouldn't behave like a guy on the street that just has his camera and is just filming randomly. At least have, some simple journalistic principles. these guys have made an effort to teach you. Yeah? Because I know most of us are interested in that area of content creation. So you're going there, but you need to go there safe. Yeah? If someone talks to you about the mayor, look for the mayor to defend himself. If you don't find the mayor, call the mayor and record that phone call. And when you are recording that phone call, also inform the mayor that you're actually recording him. Yes? At the beginning of the phone call, mayor, can we put you on record? Once he says yes, you record. If he says no, don't record. Those are the few things that have gotten people into some bit of trouble. Yeah? But in the area of content creation, those are the 2 or 3 areas.
Yeah. So, Mr. Moses, to cut this story short, yeah, we are running out of time actually. So I kind of request you to become more brief, but the good thing you have hit like 3 birds with a single stone. You have really touched a lot of ideas. So briefly, I would like us to know how can we differentiate the content which we are going to post or share. How can we differentiate YouTube content from TikTok content, from live content? Yeah, can we briefly talk about it?
The platforms we have now, the media platforms we have now, have certain similarities in terms of content delivery. The difference is how much content each system can accommodate. Yeah? And also the style of filming. Yeah? For example, if you're filming for YouTube, I think I have a phone. If you're filming for YouTube, yeah? We call this 16 by 9. Yeah? This is probably what you're going to film. Content like this. Yeah? This is in the normal landscape. Yeah? If you're filming for YouTube Shorts, yeah? Portrait. If you're filming for TikTok, portrait. If you're filming for TV, landscape. Yeah? Which other platform? Facebook, same thing. Also, the difference can be in the length of content. Yeah? YouTube can carry 7 hours of content. It can also carry shorts. So depending on the strategy you want, I have met content creators that are interested more in YouTube Shorts, and they focus on that, and it works for them. I've also met those that are interested in TikTok, and that's where they are. So depending on the platform that you intend to generate content for, that's why the measures for content are really based on the platform you choose. Yeah? But the quality of content stays the same. And the principles of generation of content don't change. Yeah? So whether you're generating content for TikTok or YouTube or TV, the principles of content generation should not change. Because when they change, that's how you tell a story, but the story is upside down. Yeah? So the things you should concern yourself more with is the principles of production. Yeah? What do I do when? Then all these others you can do much later. Yeah? Good. Any questions? Maybe now I can take questions.
No, it's okay. We can, before we entertain the questions, we are still heading. Then another thing, we are integrating AI in this media industry. How do you see AI in the coming years? Because right now you have talked about Adobe Premiere Pro, and I have said we have the 2024 version out. Literally, I also use Illustrator, Photoshop, but they are also embedded with AI. How do you see AI in the coming years, and how is it of bad influence or it is a good influence? You can discuss the two things.
We are into this age and it's not going anywhere. Yeah? What we need to focus on is not to try and compete with AI. No. It's ours not to compete. Ours is to use to improve. Yeah? So in the early years, we used to have, when you're editing, you'd sit on your timeline, get your 3 cameras, and edit them and put them together and edit them by yourself. Yeah. Currently, we have an AI software called Pro AI. Yeah. What Pro AI does is that you record 3 cameras. Let's say you've gone to a party or you have an interview. Yeah. You have 3 cameras. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. You record all of them separately, get them, throw them into Pro AI, and it will sync all of them to a single. It will sync all your sound. Like, it will make sure that where I said I, in that camera, and in that camera, all appear in the same space. Yeah? So it would take us, let's say, 2 hours to edit a 45 minutes video. 2 hours. Now, it can take you an hour with Pro AI or less. You get? So my appeal is that use the technology. Don't try to be the guy that thinks, technology is killing creativity, or it's killing our ability to do this or do that. No. Because this whole thing is not within your realm of control. Yeah? If you don't use it, some other guy is going to use it and they will beat you in the market. That's the important part now. Yeah? If I have a video to edit and I use AI and I edit this video and I deliver to a client in 30 minutes, and you, the adamant one, you refuse to use, and you deliver the content in 2 hours, who do you think the client will give business next time? The person that delivered first. So use these tools to deliver content. Don't get stuck. Don't be the guy that says, we had a guy who used to work with, he used to work with Radio West when Radio West was still down there. Former Radio West Limited. So when we came to Boma, when they bought that property in Boma, there are these terrestrial masts and what. So the guy was like, no, I'm not going to Boma. These masts will get me sick. He quit. But people have worked there for years. You get? So don't be rigid in adopting things that, in adopting new things in this changing world. Yeah. So I believe we have a few more AI tools that have come up. We have those that do animations now. You just write a story and it gives you a video. Yeah. Animations, cartoons that meet the specifications that you've put in your storyline. Yeah. We also have tools now that do transcription. Yeah. Do you know what transcription is? Like, for example, I can write something I can have an audio. I put it in a software and the software gives me text. Yeah. Transcribes what the guy is saying in the audio and it gives me text. Those tools should help you do work faster. Yeah. Don't approach them from a perspective of these tools are taking away our jobs. No. They should help you do work faster. So just adopt. With technology and all these AI things coming up, especially even in the broadcast industry now, they are there and there are many and they're becoming very many in terms of content creation now. The AIs that create content are becoming way many. So just adopt, use, and find which one suits you, which one helps you tell your story better. Me, that's the most important part. I have never been one to fight technology though. I've never. When something comes, I try it. If I like it, I continue using it. If I don't like it, I drop it. Probably someone who likes it will. Yeah, so don't get stuck. No.
Okay. So, uh, what practical skills or steps can a beginner or these students, what steps can they take to become perfect content creators, perfect producers, or which courses, online courses, because already they have courses they are doing, which other additional things can they do to build up their portfolios so that when they are coming up, they have somewhere to start?
I think the most important part of the content creation story is you. Is your own drive. Your own drive. I can tell you courses that you're supposed to do. I can tell you what you're supposed to do, but it starts with you wanting to do it. Because this is your journey, you're the one writing it. Yeah? If you interest yourself in content creation, you will surely create the content. If you do not, you will not. That's the most important part. But there are things that you're supposed to know. The most basic of things you're supposed to know. Yeah? Learn to film. Learn to film. And when I talk about learn to film, I'm not talking about learn to film using that camera. No. Learn to film using the very little resources that you have. Yeah? Use your phone. Learn to use your phone to come up with good and appealing content. Yeah? Well, it is important for you to improve the quality of your phone. Yes? That's very important. But that should not stop you from creating content. So you should not wait to afford money, afford a 10 million to buy a camera before you create content. Start by creating content with whatever little resources that you have. Yeah? Me, when I started, we did not have smartphones. They had not come. Yeah? But that small camera that my brother came with was the only resource I had available. And I used it. Now, you guys are lucky. You have iPhones that give you a video that is even much better quality than these cameras. So, learn to use the little resources that you have. Don't think about all these very expensive things we talked about. No. Think about what you can do with, do you know, you can, headsets. Are they the ones? Not these ones. Let me see if I have mine. You see these headsets? They have a mouthpiece here. This is a microphone. Are you aware? Yeah, you know this. You do not need the lapel microphone, yeah, for you to generate content. You don't. Yes, it is important. Yes, it is a good resource, but I'm only giving you a tip for positions where you do not have the resources to do that. Yeah? So if I put this headset in a phone, and I get this and put it here, I can make a podcast with quality sound. Are you aware? It is much better than just holding a phone in a distance. Yeah? So the best approach is get a headset. This headset is like 8,000 shillings, I think, on the market. Put it there and put it here. Put this microphone here. And the phone will record good quality sound. Yeah? So don't start from looking at, if you can afford expensive stuff, expensive gadgets, if you're rich, please, feel free, they're nice. They're good to have. Yeah? But if you cannot, start with the little things that you actually have. Yeah? So, learn to edit. Because no one is going to edit content for you. You see, when you're an editor, you are the one telling the story, and you know what you would want your story to feel like. So if you can edit, if you can film and edit, then you can tell a story better because you know what to film. You will know what you need. Most people are, I've worked with 2 people that are cameramen and they cannot edit. Yeah? But they are also not from the recent days when they are old people that have been camera people from the UTV days. And then they have come through, they're almost retiring. But they are very good camera people out of experience. Yeah? But they also miss certain things from an editor's perspective. So if you're the editor, you know how to tell the story. And you're the one telling the story. Yeah? But the important part is know how to edit and film. Yeah? And don't look for very expensive equipment, just work with what you have. Work with what you have. And the good thing now is that there's everyone to help you. Like there's a lot of people who know things. Like there's a lot of people who know things. You can't imagine, there's a lot of people who know things that you probably have no idea about. There are TV stations around. Now how many do we have? Just in this small town, how many TVs do we have? There's even one down here, right? Are you aware? Just down here, there's a TV. Are you aware? Come on, guys. You're in this building down here, there's a TV. It is either going on air very soon or it has already gone on air. The floor down here, after this floor, go down the stairs, down. There's a TV. You get? It is starting. So be ready to get jobs, right? You're not aware? Oh. Okay. There's a TV down here. There's a TV. At least I am aware because I set up their control room in there, just down here. Myself. So I know. So get ready for what? There are people that know things. At least we have about 5 or 6 TV stations here now, right? West, Sky, the one for King of Kings Church. Is it still on air?
Yeah, it's still on air.
It is. Yeah. We have one in Wizwera now. Wizwera,
Lit.
there's a TV station
There is
in
Lit
Wizwera, you can
TV.
imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah? Then there's this one starting here. Yeah? 5 TV stations in a span of a year or 2. Yeah. So there's a lot of people who know things. You can easily attach yourself. The most important part about landing a TV or a media job, yeah, is the ability to volunteer. The ability to volunteer is what is getting people jobs now these days. A lot of us want to walk in, say, I'm looking for a job. How much are you paying me? Pay me per month. Yeah. That's the story that most of you come with. And that story doesn't get you a job. What gets you a job is getting into a company. Yes, you come in and say, I want to volunteer. So what do you know? I am a video editor. Yeah, okay. Do you know how to edit? They will bring you to our department, probably, or in any other station. They will say, okay, sit, try. There's no company that hates a volunteer. No. You get? But while you're there, show them the other skills that you have that they are willing to pay for. While you're already where? But if you just come and say, I'm a good presenter and a video editor, I'm also a camera person, I can also script very well, I want a job. There's no company that always has jobs there for anyone that just walks in. No. But every company has a position for a volunteer, any day, anytime. You just come to office there where you work and say, I would like to come in as a volunteer video editor as I learn. And you see if you won't get a job. You would get a desk, they would say, sit there. Okay, edit this. Or they will bring you to our department and say, yeah, when you guys have a lot of work, just give him something. Then you start there. Then you get to know who the boss is. Then you get to know who makes the decisions. Then you get to know who's the manager. Then when you're having lunch at the canteen, the manager sits on your table. Yeah? Then you have a conversation. Yeah? Then the manager gets, oh, this guy is good in politics. There's a guy who's good in politics. Yeah? Then one time when people are in a meeting looking for a political talk show host, they'll say, but there's this guy who's volunteering. He's good. We'll be talking to him and it may take some time and resources. Yes? But I've found it to land people jobs faster, easier, yeah, than someone walking in. When was the last time you had TV West advertising for a job? For example, tell me. When? Or EYIT here. When was the last time you had them advertising for a job? For an open position, like publicly advertising? Yes? They don't. But if you come in and help Henry when he has gigs, when he has a wedding, when he has this, when he has a program to do, when he has this, and you're the guy there helping, they are helping, you stand better chances of being considered for a position than this guy who just walks in and says, hey, me, I am this, I am, Those work for people that have the experience. Yeah? That have the experience, have the books, have the, the skill, and they're there. But for starters, you who is getting into the media industry, that's the trick. Volunteer for a short time. During your volunteership, let me give you an example. In the lockdown, this guy called Shukran? Shukran is an MC. Yes? Even Lithan. During the lockdown, they were volunteering. But they worked so well that we can't release them now. You get? But imagine they walked in and they said, we're looking for a job. We need 1 million per month. Mm-hmm. Who was going to give them? You get? So, get in. The goal is to get into the company. Once you're in, show people what you're capable of. And you land a job. Once you have the skill, so work on the skill. Learn to do video editing, learn to film. Yeah? We are also getting into a space where we are buying content from content creators. Yes? Because in the mainstream media, we're looking at it as a cheap way of acquiring content. Yeah? So if someone has content, which bloggers do you know here that have very good content? Here. I'm not talking about those entertainment bloggers that be talking about a lot of things. There. Well documented, well scripted, well researched content.
May I will give an example of Nyamwiza.
Shitamana Nyamwiza.
Yeah, Shitamana Nyamwiza. Yeah.
Yeah?
Actually, I think she was a work with Vision Group.
Yeah, she used to work with us.
Yeah.
She used to work with us. Her content, when you look at it, can be adopted for TV. When you watch her content. These guys of is Love Bump or Baby Bump? Come on, guys. Ladies, I see so many ladies following them. The Morondo's wife, what's her name?
Ride with the Molondos on NTV.
Yeah? Those guys, before they went on NTV, they were producing content for their channel. Then NTV adopted their content to the mainstream industry. So it is possible that you can start by creating content for...
Guys, I need your maximum attention because we are almost
for your own
ending.
channel. But if you're good, if your channel is good and you have good content on your channel, you can easily cross to... Because that's where we're going. We've discovered that content is a bit cheaper if we buy it and not produce it. Yeah? For example, you drive a car between here and Fort Portal. You film one program of Obuhinji Noburisa for 30 minutes. But you're paying a producer, you're paying a driver, you're paying a camera person, you're paying a presenter. You're also fueling a double cabin to Fort Portal and back. Yeah? But if someone was producing content as an individual, you Obuhinji Noburisa and they film content that is to that standard, and they bring it, and they say, per episode, give me 400,000. it is cheaper. Because the current production cost of like an episode of TV, 30 minutes program that we are filmed in Fort Portal can get to close to 1 million shillings. You're facilitating a presenter 100,000 allowance, a camera person 100,000, a driver 100,000. You're fueling a pickup from here to Fort Portal and back. Fuel of about 500 for a single or 2 episodes of 30 minutes. So if someone was bringing that content and charging us 400,000 for an episode, yeah, we don't film those dramas that you see. We're not the ones who film them. The guys produce the dramas and bring content, we pay. So what if you are now that guy that is producing the dramas? You get? So it's a bit wide, but it takes effort. It starts with you, that's what I said. It starts with what you want. You as a person, what you want. It starts with you. Good.
Yeah. So this is a good, these are words of encouragement we can get from such a person who is experienced in media, because I don't think anyone who will tell you such words. That's why I was saying that at the end you have to pay attention. No one will ever tell you that you will have to volunteer. But if you ask Henry, if you ask me, if you ask Smith, all of us at least
Volunteered before you
volunteered here. I volunteered here for 2 months. Smith, I think they were 3 months. Henry is old here for some years, but he shared a story that he started hustling from here. They could go to the field with a single camera, to the extent that even the CEO could reach an extent and volunteer as a camera person in his own company. Yeah, so such words can at least give us a push and encourage us. So right now I think we are almost coming to the end of this discussion, but it's a time for us to entertain the Q&A part, questions and answers. In case you have questions for Mr. Moses, you are allowed to do so. You are allowed to ask.
So, questions? Yeah, his hand was up earlier.
I advise that you collect the questions at once. We can note them down and Moses answers at once, same time.
Mr. Moses, thank you so much for sharing that great information.
Need a piece of paper?
And I hope we have benefited a lot from what you have shared with us. And through your story, I got to see how the area of content creation is evolving, and most especially, I want to focus where you say that now content creation is focusing on social media and leaving the other part of maybe TV stations or channels. So according to you, how could you maybe give an advice, or what can be done, like to keep those TV stations there, but they also compete with these social medias? And again, another question is, how can a person who is a content creator make money? Because somebody who is making content, he has to sustain himself and also sustain content creation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else? Guys, feel free to ask.
Thank you, Mr. Moses, for sharing with us. I have a few questions there too. You talked of virtual studio. There's this woman on TV west of sign language. Is she also a virtual something set, or there's a camera there for her? Because her screen is always short, like it's like an ovary on the other woman reading news. Then another question is, what are the challenges faced with the current trend of digital journalism or digital media? Thank you.
Thank you, Bwana Moses, for the information you have shared to us. For me, I have one question. I would like to know the softwares are we recommended to use for video editing and recording? Thank you.
Any other questions? You have another one.
Thank you so much again. I would like to inquire from you. Okay, if maybe I don't rely this thing on, maybe I want to be employed. Me personally, how can I, okay, be self-employed in this area of content creation? Because these days there are so many people who have trained in content creation and those ones who have skills in content creation, and you find that they cannot all get employed. So how can I employ myself in content creation?
Well, thank you. All along we had been talking about content creation, but my mind had been asking, like, what is content? Because the creation part can come, but what kind of content should one really focus on so that maybe like that suits their interests? What kind of content should they be looking at? Thank you.
Inspired by most of content creators, I would wish to become one. But then the question is, how can my contents go viral as I'm using my phone, spread them on my social media platforms, talk of TikTok, YouTube, and other social media platforms? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Someone asked about TV versus social media. The two are going to continue to exist. I think it's you who asked that. The two are going to continue to exist, but there is going to be, the difference between the two is the cost of operating both. Yeah? So TV is expensive. TV is damn expensive. It is not something that I would really advise someone to want either to start or do, or, you know, it's damn expensive. Yeah? The social media area is cheap. It's cheap. It's pocket friendly. Anyone can start in that space and grow big. Yeah? So what I would want someone to get interested in is majorly generation of content. You see, once you have the content and it's appealing, yeah, where you intend to distribute it should not be a problem. Yeah? The problem is, do you have the content? Can you create the content? Yeah? That's the hard part now. The distribution, once you have it, I wanted to give you an example of this lady. The cooking nuns. Yeah? She's called Rita. Rita was Miss Ankole Tourism, I think in 2017, 2018. She worked with us at TV. She was a producer. She woke up one morning and quit and said she's going into content creation. Now, her area is cooking. She likes food. Naturally, she's a foodie. Yeah? Rita is eating in office any day, anytime. And she prepares her food and she eats it. That's what she likes. As a person, yeah? So she gets out of office, she quits. She starts this company, the Cooking Nuns. Now, do you see how many subscribers she has? 56.3K subscribers. Yeah? When she posts, scroll up. This video is 1 month ago. It's a video of her wedding. It has 5.3K views. This is 1 month ago. This is 11K views. This is 1.5K views. You can scroll upwards. Yeah? It's 2.9, 1.5, 3.1. You see the audience that she has, and all she does is cook her food and eat it. That's all she does. Now she went to Kampala. That's where she does most of these things from. She has built a cooking studio. Yeah, huge space, a huge hall. That is a cooking studio. She has about 2 kitchens there, state of the art. She invites people and teaches them how to cook specific meals. While she's doing that, they pay to attend. She also records content and puts it on YouTube. And she earns from YouTube. How YouTube pays is that they pay you. They have what is called a subscription. They have like 3 determinants. I think now there are 3, including shorts. They look at 1, how many subscribers you have on your channel. Yeah. Then the hardest thing to hit, like to qualify, is watch hours. So watch hours means that whoever comes to watch your content, yeah, for how long do they watch? So that determines whether your content is good or whether your content is not good. So if you, like, for example, her content, if a woman is learning how to cook, she will watch this episode from start to end. Meaning that she will watch this episode for about an hour. So her watch hour count is, and that's what is used to compute how much money YouTube pays you at the end of the month. Watch hours. For how long do people watch your content? Yeah? She's doing very well. She's doing very okay. She's doing actually very more okay than us. Are we us Dirinkai? Us who remained at the station working for more jobs. So when you're looking at TV and content creation, the space you're supposed to be going into now is this. When this is good, yeah, this can go on TV. When the content is good, it can come on TV. But if you start with TV is a bit corporate space and it has a few. Here you are allowed, you can cook your things and have your things, and you can have your content as long as it is good content and it has an audience and it is appealing. Yeah? Rita is now living large. She's like one of the best, top, like those very, very, very best food vloggers we have in the country. She's doing very, very well. Yeah? This is an example of someone who I know very well, very, very well. She's from Bushenyi, yeah, I think Shema. Yeah, the husband is from Rukunjiri. They're doing well. That's what they do. Yeah? So you can also start by talking about, like, you see today how we talked about that shoe? Yeah? So imagine you did an episode today about shoes. Yeah? Shoes, that shoe. Then tomorrow you talk about another shoe. Yeah? And then you talk about another shoe, another shoe, another shoe, another shoe. Then you focus on women's shoes. Men and shoes, the one you find you just like and put on and go. We have just a few types of shoes that we like. Yeah? These women have like thousands. Yeah? And you just focus on women's shoes. Before you know it, they will start watching your episode to look for which shoe you have put on. Which shoe trends? Which shoe is the most recent? Which shoe should I have? You know Mackenzie? There's a guy called Mackenzie on YouTube. He's in the US. He's a he reviews technologies. If Mackenzie says, the other day he said, he was checking out a car and he said that the car is the worst car he has ever driven. the company that manufactures those cars has closed. Just because of what he said. Just what he said in his video. The video is there on YouTube. Look for it. Worst car review. Worst car review. You just. This is it. This is it. The company that manufactures these cars closed because of what he said. He reviews technologies, he reviews phones. Any company that releases a gadget, they send it to Mackenzie first. He first receives it, he reviews it, and then they send it to the market. If he gives it negative, any negative review, consumers don't buy it. He's just reviewing tech. You can review shoes, you can review hair, you can review cars, you can become an expert in your specific area that you know. If you're an IT guy and you understand computers very well, just focus on laptops. There are like so many types. Review just that and create content out of it. Just have a flow of how you want your content to flow. You can start reviewing specs, these ones here. You will review them, and people will start, when they're going to buy specs, they'll first get to hear what your opinion is about those specific specs they want.
Another local example I can give of a guy is this guy, DJ Mats. He has also earned a lot from YouTube because of.
Watch this episode, this one here of reviewing cars.
Yeah.
Just watch it. The
If
man
you,
reviewed a car.
you
Yeah?
check his channel.
And the company closed. Do you know what it means to close a car company? It closed. So the other one was asking, how can content creation make money? I think we've answered that. Yeah? Generate the content, upload it on these sites. If the content is good, the sites will pay you. Yeah? And at some point, if people like you enough, then the manufacturers of whatever it is you're reviewing will also look for you. You get? Yeah, they will look for you. You can be independent and say, me, I review. When I review, I don't need to get paid when I review. Yeah? But me, I'm into the TV space. I think I have like 5K subscribers on, you put my name there, Rutebemberwa on YouTube. I have like 5K subscribers or so. I don't focus a lot on this because it is now hard for me to, it is becoming hard for me to do both. Yeah? The content that my content has legal restrictions now. Yeah? When I generate anything I generate, if I generate an idea for TV, yeah? So my contract now does not allow me to generate content for any other platform. Yeah, so if I generate content now, it is for TV. So if I generate content and I upload it here, if it is for TV and I upload it here, it gets me into some legal issues with my contract on TV. Yeah? But Rutebemberwa Moses just put that. So there you know how to make money out of that. Yeah? Virtual Studio sign language camera. Yeah, the sign language person has a camera on them. Yeah? The sign language person is already seated in some other space, but he's hearing what the anchor is saying, and they do the sign. We just superimpose in the software. We put the sign language person next to the anchor. That's just what it is. It's not a lot of stuff. Yeah. Challenges in digital management. Digital management? Challenges. Yeah. So what is currently happening is that the audience seems to like those that make a lot of noise. Yeah, the noise is too much. Yeah? So for you to be able to cut through the noise, you need to produce content that is good enough to cut through the noise. Yeah? Otherwise, if you also come in here and you're a mediocre, yes, you will still mediocre and just come out without, you will not go up, you will not become the big gun. Yeah? So make sure your content is good enough, it's appealing enough. Once it is, you will break through. The other challenge with the current digital marketing trends, digital management trends is we have a lot of negative energy from the political space. Yeah? The government doesn't seem to want people to post a lot of stuff, or to use a lot of stuff, or to become so popular. The difference between the citizen journalism space, which you guys should be in, the content creation space, and the television space, is that you guys are not very easy to manage. The government cannot manage you very well, to regulate. Yeah? For us, if UCC writes a letter and says, tomorrow morning, don't run this, we don't run it. Yeah? And we have like guidelines of things we're supposed to do or not to do. There are so many. But you guys probably don't. The regulation is not a lot. Yeah? So the government is a bit scared of, what you guys say, because it cannot control you very well. That's why they're increasing the cost of data. They are shutting down Facebook. I believe they'll continue to shut down all these other spaces that we have. Eventually, probably. I don't know. Someone will write something bad on TikTok, and the guy will know, TikTok is there. Shut it down. Before you know it, it is shut down. Yeah? The cost on production, yeah, digital production also has costs. It also requires some skill for you to be able to know what to do. Yeah? You need to read about something, SEO, search engine optimization. You know that? Yeah? How a search engine should be. What you do in your content to make sure that the search engine considers you first. Yeah? When someone is asking for, let's say, sweaters. When someone types sweaters, where to buy a sweater in Uganda, in Google. Yeah? So if you have an online store that sells sweaters, you need to optimize your website so that the search engine considers you first up there on page 1 on top. Yeah? So you need to read about that. I'm not going to go into that space, but those are some of the challenges. Digital media requires some level of skill. Any media requires some level of skill, but for digital, there's some new stuff that you need to learn to be able to adopt. Softwares for video editing and recording. The softwares, the one I would want you guys to learn more now, yeah? The one that focuses really on what you want is Premiere Pro. Yeah? That's what focuses on what you want. The After Effects is there. It is good for motion graphics. It is good, really good for motion graphics. But if you have time for it, please try it out. It's equally not hard to learn, but try it out. Yeah? The important part is Premiere Pro. Master it. Just master how to edit videos. Yeah? Once you've mastered that, all these other things can happen. But now it doesn't make sense for you to learn how to use After Effects when you've not learned Premiere Pro. Then all these other 3D render softwares, yes, they are good. If you have the time to learn them, please do. But they will not generate you money quickly. Yeah? If you learn how to model a 3D something model motion graphic, yes, you can learn. It's a skill. It's a good skill to have. But it is not making you money now. Yeah? There are people that are already known to be in that space and they're already up there. You can be equally as good. Yes? Me, I'm just giving you where to begin from. The rest you can add. Just learn Premiere Pro. Learn Premiere Pro. The rest you can always learn. Self-employment in content creation, that we have already talked about. Yeah? Start by generating content and uploading it. Someone who likes it, well, how do you think all these people started? The guys we saw here, how do you think they started? By uploading the first video. And then they uploaded the next one, and they uploaded the next one. The important part is being consistent. Yeah? So imagine you are watching a TV program every Tuesday, and this Tuesday it's there, the next Tuesday it's there, and the next Tuesday it's not there. And the next Tuesday you go back to watch it, it's not there. Then the next Tuesday when you don't go there to watch it, it is there. You lose audiences, you lose morale in following it up. So it's consistency. If you say, I post once a month on Tuesday, or the first Tuesday of the month, do that, post that. If you say, I post every Friday, post every Friday. Yeah, the content that you have generated in the week, post it. Have some consistency. Yeah? Don't just post because you are happy. Today you are happy. You post, you film. In the evening when you're ready, you. Sometimes the audience is not ready for it. They are doing other things. But if they know that every Saturday morning, there's this. Every Saturday at 2, there's this. You create a habit. They develop a habit to want to follow. But for example, imagine if you woke up in the morning and you found that the show you watch on TV every Saturday in the afternoon is actually showing on TV Monday morning. You get? So we consume media in patterns. Everyone has a schedule of how they consume media, and don't just post stuff. You can just post maybe for who is this one that walks around with the national ID? Okay. It is also not very good to walk around with the national ID. It's a duplicate. Okay. And what is content? So content is anything of value that can be either distributed or consumed by an audience. Yeah? It can be in terms of whatever topic you want to call it, whatever topic you want to have, to discuss. Yeah? It can be audio, it can be visual, it can be both, on any platform that you want to put it. Yeah? But the core is in the content. Are you telling a story? Yeah? I can wake up in the morning, record this show, record it for the whole day, and get that video of a recording of a show with no art really, just a recording of a show, and post it on YouTube. Will it be relevant? Would someone want to watch it again? No. But imagine if I got this show, yeah, I get like a dark room, I record this show very well lit, yeah, I put it like on a, you know what a lazy Susan is? You know these things that where they put cake, and cake keeps rotating like this, yeah? I put it on a lazy Susan, I make it nice, and it rotates, and I film very nice angles, yeah? B-rolls. You know what B-rolls are? B-rolls. B-rolls, who knows? Yeah, we'll get into that space. B-rolls. You record some very nice B-rolls of it, and then you make a small 45 or 30-second video of that show, yeah? How it looks like, the soul there, you know? That is, that's content. So there's value in it, yeah? That's what we want. Otherwise, if you just post everything, nah, they'll not work. Viral content. How can content go viral? Most of these go back to how interesting your content is. Yeah? You can have a lot of budget to push content. Yeah? But if content is bad, no matter how good you push, it is bad. Yeah? So if your content is good, it will push itself organically. Yeah? If your content is bad, nah, you won't. You see? Now this is a shoe. But see how the guy is presenting it? This is good. But imagine he just put the shoe there, like, you know, there. Yeah? You would not have the interest in trying to watch it. So, generate good content. If it's good, it will go viral. If it is not good, you'll put in a lot of money to push it, it will still not go viral. It may try to go viral for like a week. Who uses Wave? You know Wave? Wave, the money transfer, yeah? Sending. Has any one of you used it?
Yeah, me, I use it, yeah.
You use it?
Yeah.
Do you use it a lot?
Not a lot, but maybe if I'm receiving money from abroad, that's when
No,
I
locally,
use it.
local transfers, the way we use mobile money. Anyone? Yeah, they put in a lot of money to push Wave. A lot of money. You would find people with Wave t-shirts in the villages down there promoting Wave. But was the idea a good replacement for the current mobile money system we have? It wasn't. Yeah? So you can have an idea with a huge budget and you'll push it. But if the idea is not good, can't compete, same as content. Yeah? So yeah, that was the last question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moses. I think that we can get someone who can at least give us some closing marks and an appreciation. Any volunteer can give us closing remarks, and at least thank our guest speaker. Anyone? Or I pick at random. Yeah? The last person to come, to enter, should at least come and tell us what she has learned in today's session. Thank you. Yeah, Madam, feel free to come. At least tell us and thank our guest speaker. You come. Yeah, you come. There's nothing much. You come, just thank our speaker and tell us what you have at least picked. Yeah, try to hurry in the interest of time. Briefly explain to us in the short time you have been here what you have at least picked from this session, and thank our speaker as we close.
Thank you, sir, for your good words. Me, though I have come late, but I have learned how I can create good content using my social media platforms. Thank you, sir.
Okay, we can have a thunderous clap for our guest speaker. Yeah. So we have proudly come to the end of this session, and in the case of any queries, Moses is always around. You can inquire more, because at least he has more experience than we have, though we are trying to teach you. But you can, at least also me, I have learned some different concepts which I have not been getting. At least I will try to implement them. Yeah. There is like a concept of, there is a guy here, he asked me about 3D rendering softwares. Because I personally know 3ds Max, I know how to use Maya. But I have never earned a single coin from those softwares. So at least now, if you hear from a person who has been in the field for long, you can pick something like that. I know how to use those softwares, but a person who has been in this field for some time, he has also clarified it that it's hard. So it's a matter of picking some softwares that will help you. He has recommended Premiere Pro in video editing. Almost all Adobe suites are nice. You can know your Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign for typography and newspapers. So that's a brief summary of what he has talked about. And now you know, before you post content on TikTok, at least first know what you're going to talk about. If you're, I will give you an example of this guy, Kansara Amon. He will go, he talks about, he hosts some person. Actually, the best example is Moyo TV. He got a person, they were sitting and discussing about another entity, but he was imprisoned because of not hearing both sides and not getting consent from the person they are talking about. So at least now, before you upload something, you know you have to first get consent of both parties. So that's a brief summary. Thank you for attending. I wish you a nice day. Thank you.
And those that need my number, feel free to write it, really. 700 238 017. That's the one that is on WhatsApp. 700 238 017. And I'm always around, so anytime.